guys, I'm here today putting another page together in my pocket page notebook. So I'm just starting with this photo, and it is a photo of a really yummy donut. Well, as you can see, technically two really yummy donuts that we shared. Although now that I've trimmed the photo out, I can't work out which way up the photo actually goes. I think it's this way, but I can't be sure. Now on the left hand side here, I want to make a title with my Kellie Stamps digital stamps from this month's release. So I am just looking through this very old paper pad. I mean, you can see there's so many pages missing. I just want to get a paper, I think that one's too busy. I need one that's a reasonably solid colour. So I think I'm going to grab this pink one here so that I can cut my title out on my silhouette machine. So I've grabbed my paper and I'm gonna head over and trim out my title. So I'm just starting in the Silhouette Studio software, and I'm just gonna reveal the page a little bit more so I can make sure that I'm getting this title the right size. So I'm just dragging in some of the PNG files from the Fantastic Together stamp set from Kellie Stamps this month. And I want my title to say, "Oh my, we go together." So I've dragged them in, but I realized I've put "oh" twice rather than "go." So I'll just add one more back in. So I've got my title and I'm just gonna resize it roughly. I need to make sure that it's not too big for my paper, which is only 6 inches, but also it needs to be small enough for my Traveler's Notebook page. So I'm gonna head over to my trace tool and select the trace area. Uncheck high pass filter and click trace. It's as simple as that, and then I can delete the stamps and I have my cut file to create my title. I did go to align them all to the left and realized because I've traced them all in one go, they are all one file. So I right click them and release compound path, which will make all the little cuts separate. And then just for ease of use, I'm going to go ahead and select all the ones that are in each word and group them together. So now I have 5 little cuts. And I can align them all to the left just to make it easy. I want to use as little paper as possible so that I can use the rest of the paper on my spread. So I'm just making sure that they're the right size, and then I'm going to align them up to the top and just try and make 2 rows so I can leave, like I say, a good amount of paper to carry on using for the rest of my spread. So I do manage to get them all into 2 rows that will fit in 6 inches. So now I can just go ahead and cut them on my Silhouette machine. I've created my own cut settings here that will work for my paper, so you might have to adjust yours for yours. But now that's all cut out and all done, I can peel that off my cutting mat. I do be a little bit careful when I've got little letters like this, especially with G's. I don't want to pull out the inside of the G. And there's my title. Now you could add the little insides of the O's and stuff back into it, but I actually quite like the look as it is, so I'm gonna leave it. And I couldn't decide whether I just wanted to glue it straight down with just say my Martha Stewart glue pen, or whether I wanted to add some foam dimension behind it. And I decided to add some foam, and it's not that I regret it because I love the way it looks, but oh boy was this a little bit of work. So you'll see me faff about with this for quite a while. I'm just trimming these larger foam squares down so that I can fit them onto the little words, and then peel all the tiny little backs off and then stick them down. And then I've got 5 words to do that too, so it does take a little bit of time. I've sped this up quite considerably. So I'm going to split my title sort of 2. So I'm going to add 2 words at the top, "oh my," and then "we go together" further towards the bottom down here. So that's the bottom, and then I'm starting again from the top just to make sure everything's spread out a little bit. Finally finished with all my little foam pieces, so I can stick down my last 2 words. So you could do this with any digital stamps. It's a really fun way to create a title. Now, because my photo is going into my pocket, I just needed a wee background piece to stick everything down to. So I just trimmed a piece of white paper. It's nothing special. And then behind my photo, I'm going to add a little glassine bag here. I'm just trimming it down so it fits behind my photo perfectly, but I do want to still be able to use it as a pocket. So I am making sure not to glue that flap down. I can stick my photo on top, and the reason I wanted it as a pocket is so I can do my journaling on a tag and just stick that into the pocket. So that is essentially how it's going to look. But just to tie the right hand side page in with the title, I want to add some of the same paper, and then I'm going to use some of the other papers from the paper pad to create a striped background on this piece of paper. So I've stuck my pink down, and then I'm going to add this rainbow dot just underneath it, and then I can just flip it over and trim it down to fit. And I wondered about leaving the top white. That green dot would have been good, but it didn't have enough paper on it. So instead I'm going to use this teal stripe and do the exact same thing. Just stick the paper onto my backing and then trim it off. And now I have a bright and colourful background to add into this pocket. But what I realised is because I've got a pocket for my hidden journaling, I can't put that in a pocket. So I just stuck my background piece into the pocket, and then I'm going to add this pocket on top of the pocket. But I didn't think tape runner was going to work for that, so I'm using some heavy duty double-sided tape, which again I really struggle to pull the backing off it, so grab some tweezers and that works much better. And then I can stick that down on top, and I can still use my little interactive piece. I just wanted something to tie in some of those colours on the left hand side, and I had this sticker sheet. It's not branded, I don't know where it's from. I grabbed it off AliExpress and it had arrived just that day. That's why it was on my desk, and it struck me that the colours were quite similar, so I added some of those stickers in, and I think it just ties the two sides of the page all together. Using digital stamps is such a fun way to create a title. I hope you give it a go. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!